Hey everybody, welcome to the video. Welcome to the channel. My name is Mike and today we're back on the timber bridge project. You can see it's sitting here looking great. We are going to check, there's a trail cam right there I've got set up to see what critters cross this. We're going to check that trail cam later on in the video. Now the goal is to build a trail. It kind of wraps up and around there. But before we do that, kind of need to build a way to get the tractor off this side of the bridge. Here's the bridge from the side in case you've never seen it before. We're going to be using the John Deere 755. I've got the homemade log winch on the back side of this thing. And then we've got the scratch-built forks with quick attach on the front end and the bucket. If you're new to the channel, this is the abandoned build site we bought last year. There's some old hand-hewn logs that came with the build site. And the bridge is just kind of down over the edge there. So I think the easiest thing to do to get off the other side of the bridge is just scrape up some of the gravel from the driveway and use enough of it to get off the other side, and then we could go rock hunting. We're going to use the new forks we just built and the log winch to try and drag a bunch of big rocks down there and fill the rest of it in with rocks. And then I don't know from there. I really don't. Let's go and see what happens. That's how we do it here. Let's just go. Plans are for laughing at, right? Well, the starter's laughing. You guys are looking at the wrong thing. So we're here. We were doing some stuff over here. We got to build that up more, obviously, but I just want to be able to get off this side of the bridge so we can go get the material we need. there it is. The 755 on that side of the bridge for the first time. That's kind of exciting. There you guys are down here. There's two of you. I don't know if you know that. It's a fancy, we've upped our production level. Oh, let's go get some big rocks and just fill this in. So we're just gonna drive around this side of the property looking for rocks, just like that. Rocks that I can lift. We'll fill the bucket up and then we'll just keep coming down and kind of filling this in with those rocks. One more. Oh yeah. So this is where the top side of the trail comes out. You can see the bridge down there. The trail's going to come up around that maple. Where this tree is here, we got to winch that up out of the way later. It'll come right up through here and then curve up to on top of the hill. Just a little switch back on this end. I'm going to start taking the 755. We'll put it into D9 mode and see if we can't start pushing some of this down out of the way. And we'll be able to utilize the rocks that we stir up down at the abutment on the bridge. Sure, why not? Let's just do that. Let's see if we can go ahead and pull this stump up out of the way. just about out of, oh, falling, it's fine, don't worry. This thorn bush caught me, we're fine, okay. Just about out of fuel, and the market's pumps weren't working earlier, and I don't feel like driving all the way to town. So I'll get some more fuel in the morning, we'll come back, we'll winch this log up out of here, and we'll just keep bringing that on around. It's really looking pretty good. I think that's probably gonna be the hardest one, but we'll find out. We'll just keep working our way around. We got a few small stumps. We're gonna try to use the winch. I'm gonna set some snatch blocks up. We're gonna try to pull some of these smaller stumps out. Keep working our way down to the bridge. I'll meet you guys back here in the morning. I figured this would be a good time to put the trail cam footage in real quick. I did switch the camera recording from 10 seconds to 30 seconds, so I got a little bit longer clips here. But you can see there's that fox. We've seen that fox quite a bit on the trail cam down on the bridge. Comes through quite often. And then we've got this doe that comes in. Now, she's not actually crossing the bridge. She's still crossing down the creek. A few people have suggested putting a mineral lick or a salt lick out in the middle of the bridge to try to get the deer to come across the bridge itself, which I think we plan on doing. I think that'd be kind of cool. But nothing too crazy. And then we got 2 does here. That was a couple days later. And you can tell by the light from the camera, this must be early morning whenever they're coming through. It's not bright enough for the full color, but it definitely has quite a bit more light on it than when the fox comes through. I never did set the date or time on the camera, and I should. That would probably make guessing the time a little bit easier if I actually used the clock. And then after these 2 doe come through, here you can see we've got 4 doe coming. There's the 4th one. You can see they're still hopping up through the creek, like I said. So maybe a mineral lick out in the middle or something like that to help encourage them to get across that bridge. I think once they use it, they'll use it on a regular basis. They're probably just a little nervous as to what it is. But there you go. That's the updated, most recent trail cam footage we have. And it's something we try to incorporate in the videos every so often. That's the following day. We'll get back to work. We're looking really good across this transition, but there's 3 rocks I'd like to try to get out of here. This one, which is pretty much loose already. See, it's got a crack down the back side, but if we can just get it scooted away so I can actually get the bucket behind it to shove it. This one's still pretty solid. And then this one here, which also has a crack down the back side. If we can get 1, 2, 3 out of there, that'll make a really comfortable transition up around the switchback. And we can keep moving on down around. What do you say? Oh, she's ready. Try it with that one, and we'll try it with that one. So this rock just ended up being too big for the winch to pull up, and it's kind of the angle it's pulling at. And you can see the tractor sliding pretty good there. And I know some people are going to suggest we'll put a chain on the front of the tractor to a tree so the tractor doesn't move, but I'm really trying to avoid pulling the tractor in half. If it's strong enough that the tractor's sliding along, then I probably don't want to try to move it anyway. I figured maybe I get some wedges underneath, change the angle of the pull just a little bit by lifting the rock up. So drove some plastic wedges underneath there. You can see it lifted it a few inches, but still not enough. And then I just ended up finding a natural seam in that rock.
and ended up just breaking the top half off. It didn't take a lot of effort. That looks like a lot of work, but this rock's pretty fragile. It's almost like a sandstone. And if you find a natural seam on it and drive a couple wedges in, it pops up pretty quick. You could see that. And then took the winch, flipped that top half off of there. And then once we get the top half flipped off, obviously we've made it a little bit lighter, we're able to get that bottom piece pulled out of there too. And I'm not really trying to pull them up and out of the way, I'm just trying to break them loose and get them away from the edge enough that I can actually get the bucket behind them and shove them off the side. This is when a tooth bar on that bucket would really come in handy. And I think in the long run we plan on building a tooth bucket for this, so I can still have the smooth face bucket if I want it, and then a tooth bucket as well. But it's pretty far down the list. We've got a lot of fabrication projects coming up. I went back. This was the first rock we tried moving, but it's bound up on everything, so that's why we kind of went down the hill and started pulling out the lower rocks first. But it's still not wanting to pull. It's still getting bound up on that rock next to it. I changed the angle of the line a little bit off a different anchor tree, trying to spin it out that way, but it's still getting bound up. So I ended up trying to just take the bucket and break that one last rock out of the way, which ended up working. But you can see here what I'm talking about. If I had a tooth bar on that bucket, I'd be able to get a tooth or two behind that rock a little bit easier. Right now, the whole cutting edge, unless you can get the whole cutting edge down there, you just skip across the top of it. You don't catch that crack. Now I was lucky enough that I got a corner to get a good bite on it, and then we got it rolled out of there. So we're ready. I can start taking some dirt off this hill, making the transition right here. And then we're ready to start pushing that bench right down that hill over to the bridge. I want to go ahead and get that log winched up out of the way, and it's just gonna be a whole lot of loader work.
Let me show you where we broke on here. You can see right there where that weld attaches there. That one started to crack too, obviously, once that one broke. There was a lot more pressure on this one. Just bad welds, simple as that. I'm not even upset about that. That was my first welding project, so those are the first stick welds I ever did. Kind of surprised it's taking this long for those to break. So tomorrow, we'll take it up to the barn, re-weld it, make it a little stronger, maybe put some gussets right there where it joins, and then we'll come back and do some more work on this. That'll be the next video. I want to come out and get this kind of polished up. Let me show you. Here's the top of the hill. Now, once we get here, we're not cutting any more trails in here. This is wide open enough. There's plenty of room. You can side by side your little heart out in here without having to cut anything, which will be nice. There's a lot of tree of heaven I got to cut down and burn, but as far as paths for the side by side and tractor, once you get up here, you're just kind of free range. And then walk on down here. I think that looks pretty cool. Cut through the rock like that. And then along the edge of that rock face, I think that looks kind of cool. Just something a little different. I'm sure we'll have some drainage issues on this side probably, but it's not like there's a lot of runoff. If we got to put a ditch in or something, we'll figure that out when the time comes. It's not bad though. I ended up stopping here. There's a stump there. There's a stump right here. If my shadow would move, thank you. There's a stump right there. There's another one in here somewhere. And I need to get those stumps out of the way before I finish the last little push to the end of the bridge. Those are tree of heaven stumps. They'll come out pretty easy with the winch, but they're just a little too much for the loader. There's not a lot of root system on those trees of heaven. They're pretty fragile trees, but I get the winch all welded up. I should be able to hook to those and pull those out fairly easily. And then we can finish that last little cut down to the bridge. Looking back at it, this thing looks pretty cool, kind of snaking up through there. Let's go down to the bridge. Could still probably use some more rocks, maybe one more row, and then fill it in. I brought a couple more buckets of stone I scraped from up there down. But there you go, you'll come off the bridge, and you'll go right through there, and you'll pick it up right there. You just right on in. That's gonna work great. I just think it looks so cool. You can see the bridge down there. If you look real close, you can see see how white line? That's the foundation of the abandoned build site. Trail goes down, one goes one way, one goes up and around that way. Cool. Like I said, next video, we're gonna fix that log winch, get it repaired, and come down and pull out the rest of those stumps, get this built the rest of the way, and then I don't know, something fun. I got the full day tomorrow. It is supposed to be kind of nasty and snowy, but we'll get into something. It's gonna be good, I promise you that. And the following week, I've got some work days with Dirt Perfect, so I'll be back working for Mike. We'll have some of that stuff coming up as well. Lots of good stuff coming up. Hope you guys are enjoying the content. Hope you're enjoying the channel. Hope you're enjoying whatever is today. Should be Sunday, maybe. I hope it is, and I hope you're enjoying it. All right, enough of that. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.